Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hope you are doing well. This is my second video about adjectives. In the previous video we have discussed adjective and its types. The types of adjectives which we have discussed in our previous video are, firstly we have discussed about the adjectives, like what are adjectives. Adjectives are the describing words which describes a noun, which tell us something specific about nouns. As for examples, Sarah is an honest person. So here, basically, Sarah is described as a person here. So they are describing the characteristic of Sarah as a person. So Sarah is an honest person. Here, Sarah is a noun and honest is an adjective which is describing Sarah as an honest person. Let's move towards the type of adjectives. A quick review, like the types of adjectives are two types: attributive adjectives and predicative adjectives. And attributive adjectives are used before a noun. For example, there are examples given here, like David is a dependable person, so it is coming before a noun. So dependable is an attributive adjective. Now predicative adjective, which are the adjectives which are used after a noun. Like for example, here Sana is very kind. So here Sana is a noun and kind is an adjective. So an adjective is used after Sana is after a noun. So this is known as adjective of predication, right? Predicative adjectives. Clear? Okay. Let's move towards our topic after a quick review. Now, today we will be discussing the kinds of adjectives, right? So let's move towards the other slide. Here are some kinds of adjectives which are on the video in front of you, which is kinds of adjectives are almost 7 kinds of adjectives, right? And some are subdivided into 3 more kinds. So let's begin with the first one. Now, adjective of quality. Now, adjective of quality are the adjectives used to describe the nature of the noun. Like they give us an idea about the characteristic of a noun by answering the question what kind. We need to answer the question here, what kind of adjective it is. We have to describe the quality here. Like example, there are some example words here: honest, kind, large, bulky, beautiful, etc. They are some of the example words which are used as adjective of quality. For example, here, they are: New Delhi is a large city with many historical moments. Now here, New Delhi is a subject, right, and a proper noun as well. And here, historical monuments, right, are basically what is an object here as well. Now here we are saying New Delhi is a large city, so here with many historical monuments. So here New Delhi is a noun and we are describing the quality of a city which is large city. So it is as New Delhi is a large city. We are describing the quality of a kind of a city here, right? A kind of a city. So this is New Delhi is a large city. Large is an adjective. Clear? Okay. Move towards the next example. Sarah is a beautiful woman. So here Sarah is a noun and woman is also a noun. Sarah is a proper noun and woman is a common noun. So here Sarah is described as beautiful woman. We are describing what? We are describing Sarah as a woman. The characteristic of Sarah is woman. Characteristic Sarah is woman, like Sarah is a beautiful woman. So woman is what? Woman is a noun, right? And beautiful is describing Sarah as a woman. So it is an adjective. Adjective of what? Adjective of quality. Now beautiful is adjective of quality here. towards the next type, adjective of quantity. These type of adjective help us to show the amount or approximate amount of noun or a pronoun. These type of adjectives basically don't provide us exact number. They just tell us the amount in a generic manner. As for example, like half, all, many, few, little, no, no, enough, not enough, and great. These are some of the words which are new, which we call adjective of quantity or quantitative adjectives. As for example, here, if we see, we are saying like they have finished most of the rice. So here, they is a subject and finished is a verb, rice is a noun. So here, what we are telling is they have finished most of the rice. So basically, most is defining what? Most is defining the quantity of rice which they have finished. So most is adjective of quantity or quantitative adjective which is describing the amount of the rice, amount of a noun, right? As example number 2 is many people came to visit the fair. Like here, many people came to visit the fair. Now many is an adjective which is describing the amount of people who visit the fair. So they are describing the amount of people here. So this is why we tell many as a adjective of quantity, right? Clear? Now let's move towards the next. Now, adjective of numbers. Now this is quite confused. We will be getting confused with it. Like with adjective of quantity, it is not that much confused. It is little bit similar to adjective of quantity. Sometimes we get confused with that as well. Okay. Now move towards the next. These adjectives are used to show the number of noun and their places in order. Like they are three, basically they are three different sections within adjective of numbers. They are divided into three types, subtypes basically of adjectives. Like definite numeral adjective, indefinite numeral adjective, and distributive numeral adjectives. Adjective of numbers, and first we will discussing definite numeral adjectives. Now those adjectives which clearly denote the exact number of a noun or the order of the noun. Right? In definite numeral adjective, we will be actually describing, actually telling you the exact number about the noun. Right? For example, like we are having cardinal numbers as well and ordinal numbers as well, like 1, 2, 20, 30, and etc. These type of words which are telling you the exact number are definite numeral adjectives, which is known as cardinals as well. Now for the ordinals like first, second, third, seventh, etc., and they are ordinal numbers. So both cardinal and ordinal numbers are used in definite numeral adjectives. For example, like Alia stood first in the class. Right? Now Alia here is a noun, stood first in the class. So they are telling the position of Alia here. What number? Right? So this is a first is a definite numeral. Why? Because they are telling the position of Alia here in a form of numbers. Like in the class, Alia stood first. So she took first position in the class. So they are telling the exact number here, the exact ordinal number here as for Alia. Like she stood first in the class. Clear? Now let's move towards the next exam. Next type, indefinite numeral. Indefinite numeral adjective, though the adjectives that do not give an exact numerical amount but just give a general idea of the amount. This is basically as same as adjective of quantity. There is no difference between indefinite numeral and adjective of quantity. They both are one and the same thing with different names. Clear? Now let's move towards the other type, the last type of adjective of numbers, which is distributive numeral adjective. Now, these type of adjective used to refer the individual noun within the whole amount. Like for example, we are having some words which is either, neither, each, another, other, etc. Right? Now, we are having one example here, like taxes have to be paid by each, sorry, that taxes have to be paid by every employed citizen, right? So, taxes is a noun, right? Have to be paid by every employee. Now, they are basically describing, they are basically referring to an individual noun with within the whole amount, every employee, right? So, every is distributive numeral. Clear? Now, let's move towards another type, which is demonstrative adjective. It's not as difficult as it look with the name. So here it is. These adjectives are used to point out or indicate a particular noun pronoun using the adjectives like this, that, these and those, right? It says like this, that, these and those. They are basically pointing it out. Okay? They are basically pointing out the noun. For example, like that bag belongs to Nile. Now they are basically telling you, they are basically pointing out that whose bag is that. Okay, whose bag belongs, which bag belongs, that bag belongs to Nile, right? Okay, now the next example is, now try using this paintbrush in the art class. They are telling which paintbrush? This paintbrush. So they are basically pointing out the paintbrush here, this paintbrush in the art class. In art class, sorry. Yeah. I really like those shoes. I really like those shoes. Which shoes? Those shoes. So they are basically pointing out the noun. So this is why that, this, those are demonstrative adjectives. Clear? Now, and the last example of this is, these flowers are lovely. They are pointing out the flowers, right? So these is also the adjective of demonstration or demonstrative adjectives, right? Like this. Okay. Let's move towards another type, which is possessive adjective. Now, this is basically describing the possession of the noun. It shows the noun who or what owns it. ठीक है? Right? Okay. It shows and describes the ownership of the noun. Right? So, like for example, the possessive adjectives are my, your, his, her, its, are, their, and those. They are basically describing and showing the the possession of the noun, right? As for example here, the example number 1 shows what? I am looking after her dog. Whose dog? Her dog. So, her is a possessive adjective here and dog is a noun. So, they are basically pointing out or showing who owns the dog. Okay? Who is looking after a dog, right? Example number 2 is, hey, that's my one, right? So this, that's what, that's whom, that's my. So that means they are showing the ownership. So this is why my is the possessive adjective or adjectives of possession. Clear? Now let's move towards the next type, interrogative adjective. These type of adjectives are used to ask questions. As interrogative or interrogation means to ask question. Now this is totally that way. सही है? So this is right. Interrogative adjectives are used to ask question about the noun or in relation to the noun. They are like, for example, we are using like 5 W's and 1 H. So this is all here like this. Like where, what, which, whose, and how as well. It is not mentioned here, but you can use how as well, right? So, for example, where did he say he was going? Now here we are asking questions. So what is here? Interrogation. So the adjective of interrogation is here is where. So where, why? Because where is used to ask the question about noun. He is a noun. So we are using where to ask question about the noun, right? What assignment did I miss out on? So what here is an adjective of interrogation. Next example is which is your favorite author? So which here they are asking about their favorite author. They are asking about your favorite author. So like which is your favorite author? Which is used to ask the question. So which is an interrogative adjective here. Now the last example is whose pen is this? So whose they are asking you the pen belongs to whom? So whose pen is this? So they are using to ask the question. So this is also an interrogative adjective. Okay, clear? Now our last example is proper adjective. So proper adjectives are these are the nouns that refer to specific people or things or places as well. Like these adjectives are formed from proper noun. Like they are formed from proper noun, especially names and places. For example, Aaron is a Swede who is married to a French citizen. Right? So here Aaron is a Swede who is married to a French citizen. So here Swede is a noun because it Swede is an adjective because it is derived from a Swedish, and Swedish is a noun. So Swede is known as a proper adjective because it is derived from a noun, a proper noun, right? Now our next example here is like if Canada is a proper noun, then Canadian is a proper adjective because Canada is a proper noun and it is derived from a proper noun. So this is why Canadian is a proper adjective, right? So here in the same way, Aaron is a Swede. So Swede is someone who lived in Sweden, right? So Swedish or Sweden is a proper noun. So this is why Swede is a proper adjective here. Same is the case with French. French is derived from France. So French is a proper adjective. Clear? Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon on my channel. ठीक है? Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.